He wasn't expecting to get that phone call. Nobody was expecting that phone call to be made.
I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Is the attorney who made the phone call, and why it was parceled out to social media as paperwork had been served. And I'm not saying allegedly, Sean. And you're lucky I signed the NDAs that I did. Otherwise, I would tell them about all the things that I did.
Nobody saw this coming. A simple phone call, a normal conversation, and yet something about it felt completely off from the very beginning. When Sean Combs started talking about getting rid of pizza boxes, it did not sound like a casual request. It sounded controlled, careful, almost rehearsed. The kind of tone that makes you stop and listen twice. People immediately picked up on the strange wording, the repetition, the way certain details were emphasized like they actually meant something else. This was not just a father talking to his son. This felt like a message hidden in plain sight, and the internet wasted no time trying to decode it. But this is where things get crazy. The moment that call hit social media, everything exploded. Suddenly, everyone was asking the same question. What was he really trying to say? Because when something sounds normal on the surface but feels wrong underneath, it creates a different kind of tension. Fans started connecting dots, questioning the timing, questioning the situation, and most importantly questioning intent. What happened next shocked everyone because what looked like a harmless conversation quickly turned into something much deeper. And this changes everything, because now the real mystery is not the call itself, but what might be hiding behind those words.
Going down with Diddy's leaked jail phone call. At first, it sounds harmless, just Puffy talking about pizza boxes. But this isn't about late night munchies. No. Pizza is actually a code word hiding something much darker. An underground network arranging illegal activities involving youngins.
What up? Yo, listen. Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. Alright. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Yeah, some people are writing that boxes sound like cages. You know, we have somebody talking about how Star Island is right next to a...
At first, it sounded like nothing serious. Just a casual exchange, simple words, normal tone, nothing out of the ordinary. But something did not sit right once you really listened. When Sean Combs repeated the same instructions again and again, it felt intentional. It felt like he wanted to make sure every word was understood in a very specific way. That is when people started paying closer attention. That is when the conversation stopped feeling normal. And that is when the real questions began. Then everything shifted in a way nobody expected. People started looking beyond the surface and asking what those words could actually mean. Because sometimes the simplest phrases carry the heaviest weight. The mention of boxes and cleaning up did not feel random anymore. It started to sound like a coded message, something designed to be understood only by the person on the other side. What happened next shocked everyone because the internet began building theories at lightning speed. And suddenly, this was no longer just a phone call. But this is where things get crazy. The word pizza became the center of attention, and not for the reason anyone expected. Online discussions turned dark very quickly, with people suggesting it could represent something much more serious. These were not small assumptions, these were intense theories connecting to hidden activities. The more people talked about it, the more disturbing the interpretations became. And the more it spread, the harder it became to ignore. This changes everything because now the focus is not just on what was said, but what it could mean. As the theories grew, people began connecting locations and details that were never part of the original conversation. The fact that Sean Combs owns property near major shipping areas suddenly became a major talking point. To some, it felt like too much of a coincidence. The idea that things could move quietly without attention added fuel to the speculation. Even though nothing was confirmed, the narrative kept building. And once people start connecting dots, it becomes almost impossible to stop. The tension kept rising as more interpretations surfaced. Some believed the references were completely harmless, just normal instructions taken out of context. Others believed something much deeper was being hinted at behind the scenes. That contrast created a divide in how people viewed the situation. And that divide made the story even more intense. Because when there is no clear answer, every possibility starts to feel real, and that uncertainty keeps the audience locked in. Then another layer was added that made everything even more complicated. The mention of plastic became the next focus of speculation. At first, it sounded like nothing important. But once people started analyzing it, new theories began to form. Some believed it could be linked to digital storage, recordings, or hidden material. Others thought it was just another misunderstood detail. But the damage was already done. The moment people started questioning it, the mystery grew even deeper. What happened next shocked everyone as more voices entered the conversation. Claims started surfacing from figures like Jaguar Wright, adding even more tension to the situation. Her statements pushed the narrative into an entirely new direction. Suddenly, it was not just about a phone call anymore.